Sleeper trains used to be a major part of Chinese railway operations. Nowadays, with the large-scale deployment of high-speed rail throughout the country, where trains crisscross the network at up to 350 kilometers an hour on a regular basis, the role of sleeper trains has somewhat diminished. Still, given China's vast size, even high-speed trains run some overnight sleeper services. Today, we will take arguably the king of high-speed sleeper trains in the entire Chinese network to travel overnight from Beijing to Hong Kong. Our journey begins at Beijing-Xi, or Beijing West Railway Station. Beijing-Xi is a large transportation hub constructed in the 1990s to relieve passenger rail traffic in the capital city. The station has a pretty unique look as it features traditional-style pavilions atop the main building. Chinese train stations generally require a security check at station entrance. Though here, if you're coming from the subway system, then you can skip the security queue, as there would have already been a screening when entering the subway. You would still need to present your ID or passport used to purchase the train ticket upon entry. As Beijing-Xi was planned and built before the commercial introduction of high-speed rail in China, it largely preserves the classic layout from the previous era, with large individual waiting rooms connected by a long hallway. This is quite different from the open floor plan of many of the more recent high-speed train stations, but it's got a kind of retro charm. In the hallway, you can find many Beijing local flavors. It wouldn't be a bad idea to grab some food for your late-night cravings or next morning's breakfast. There are also prominent departure displays. Our train, the G897 from Beijing-Xi to Hong Kong West Kowloon, departs from waiting rooms 10 and 11. Ticket price for the full journey on this particular train was 1,150 Chinese yuan for the upper bunk and 1,290 for the lower bunk, though the exact fare fluctuates somewhat depending on the departure date. The G897 is actually one of a cluster of 8 southbound overnight high-speed trains from Beijing-Xi, departing over the span of 1 hour. These trains run daily on Fridays through Mondays and on public holidays. The first one of the bunch, D921 to Zhanjiang-Xi, even departs from the same waiting room as G897. Most of these are D-class services and use the CRH-2E train sets. The G897, on the other hand, has the highest G classification and run on the state-of-the-art CR400AF-AE EMU, manufactured by CRRC Qingdao Sifang in 2024. Let's go have a look at it now. Since Beijing-Xi is the origin station of the train, boarding for G897 starts 30 minutes before the indicated departure time, which is a bit earlier than when trains are just stopping by. There's no particular reason to rush, but you probably don't want to be too last minute, as the boarding gates cut off at 5 minutes before departure. We go on a short connecting hallway before descending down to platform 17, where G897 will depart from. Right next on platform 16 is the G80 train coming from Hong Kong West Kowloon, having just arrived a few minutes earlier after an 8-hour and 10-minute journey. The G80 is the fastest train out of Hong Kong, and we featured it extensively in another video. I think these taillights look just fantastic. Back on platform 17, our train is getting ready for departure. Today's Unit 2399 is one of 5 CR400 AF-AE EMUs in operation as of the video. The train consists of 16 cars, with the first and last cars having seats, while the remaining 14 cars being premium sleepers. A typical sleeper carriage has 40 beds. The train has total capacity of 652 passengers. We depart on time at 2013 from Beijing-Xi Station. The sleeper car is split into compartments, with each having 4 beds. There's a table between the lower beds with tissue and hot water bottle. There are also some books and brochures in case you get bored. Upper and lower bunks are set up similarly, with the lower bunk having a cushion for additional comfort when it is configured as seats. As this is a premium service operated by China Railway Guangzhou Group, each bed comes with a snack box that features cities in Guangdong. Content includes some cashews, dried fruits, and beef jerky. Probably not enough for a full meal, but certainly a nice touch. There is also a toiletry bag which includes toothbrush and paste, a comb, disposable towels, and some creams. It's perfect for an overnight trip, and better yet, you can keep the bag as a souvenir. The train also provides hotel-style slippers, with each compartment having 4 pairs of different colors. The compartment is well served by charging ports. This train even has a couple of Type G sockets commonly used in Hong Kong under the table. Pillow and blanket are embroidered with CR Guangzhou logos. These are quite clean and comfortable. The compartment has top and side lights for full and reduced illumination. In addition, each bed also has reading and ambient lights. Space is okay on these beds. If you're under 185 centimeters or about 6'1", then you shouldn't have a problem even on upper bunk. The lower bunk has a couple of extra centimeters. The ceiling is a bit low though, so an adult wouldn't really be able to sit upright comfortably for long. As far as storage goes, there is space under the lower beds and a storage area above the compartment door. For larger luggage that wouldn't fit, they can also be stored in the hallway like so. The hallway is covered by surveillance and frequently patrolled by onboard staff, so I wouldn't really worry about safety or theft, but one could of course add a lock for peace of mind. Multiple restrooms are located at the end of each car. Onboard staff would clean and restock these throughout the journey. The train is even equipped with an oversized accessible restroom. There are, of course, washing stations as well. Car 8 of the train is partially a dining car. It's not a fully fledged kitchen, at least not by Chinese standards, but it does serve a few kinds of meal boxes as well as a large variety of snacks and drinks. The G897 runs around 240 to 250 kilometers per hour in southern Hebei before approaching Shijiazhuang Station, the first stop in the trip. The EMU itself is capable of 350 kilometers per hour and indeed runs at the top speed at times. But since this is an overnight service, the train will often run at reduced speeds so that it does not arrive at the destination too early. At Shijiazhuang Station, we see the D903 to Shenzhen Bay leave just before us, and also the D927 to Chaoshan come in right behind us. As far as actual ride comfort goes, the interior is quite polished as you just saw. Bedding is meticulously clean, and the mattress is apparently memory foam. No complaint there. The hallway always stays illuminated, but once the compartment door and curtains are shut, it is complete darkness inside. The beds are perpendicular to the direction of travel, so when the train goes through curves at high speeds, there are the occasional feelings of centrifugal forces, but it's nothing too bad. Shaking and rolling are otherwise very well controlled. Since it is mostly pitch black outside, in open and straight sections, you might struggle to tell if the train is going 250 or 350 kilometers per hour. One thing I did notice though is noise. Again, on normal open tracks, there is just a gentle hum inside the compartment. However, if the train goes into tunnels, the noise level would suddenly go up. This becomes more noticeable as the train goes through some mountainous terrain in central and southern China later in the evening. You might be alright if you fall asleep early. If not, then this might bother some people. Another thing to note is the bed assignment. While you would be able to select upper or lower bunk when purchasing the ticket, the exact bed and compartment are automatically assigned by the system. If you happen to travel in a group of 4 and choose 2 upper and 2 lower beds, then the system will try to put you all in one compartment, and that's really ideal. If not, then you'll most likely share the compartment with strangers. As all tickets must be linked to a personal ID, you wouldn't be able to buy more tickets and reserve the whole compartment, even if you're willing to pay extra. At 23:25, our train stopped at Zhengzhou Dong Station right on time. The station still looks busy at this late hour. And here we get to say hello to D903 and D927 once more. Late at night, onboard staff would come around and pull down the curtains. It's around 5 o'clock as we enter Guangdong province. The train was running at full speed earlier, but would soon slow down for a technical stop at Shaoguan Station. We come into platform 1 at 5:10 for the very brief 2-minute stop. There's no announcement and doors stay closed. The sky started to light up not long after we passed Yingdeshi Station. In about half an hour, we approach Guangzhou Nan Station. We roll into platform 9 at 6:03 and stop here for 10 minutes, slightly ahead of schedule. Across on platform 6 is the early morning D7185 train bound for Zhuhai, scheduled for 6:32 departure. This area has many bodies of water, including the Shaowan Waterway here, flowing east as the sun rises above it. You can see many farms, villages, and factories as the train flies by the landscape. At 6:22, we pass Qingsheng Station, then immediately dips into the tunnel that crosses under the Pearl River estuary. We are approaching Shenzhen Bay Station now. Even at this early hour, China's massive high-speed rail network has already come to life, with all manners of trains coming and going around us. The G897 rolls into Platform 8 of Shenzhen Bay Station on time at 6:45. Across from us on Platform 9, the outbound G2492 from Shenzhen Bay to Chengdu Dong is getting ready for the day. We are in the final portion of our trip. The train enters a tunnel soon after departing Shenzhen Bay and remains underground for the rest of the way to Hong Kong West Kowloon. At 7:11, we arrive at Hong Kong West Kowloon Station 1 minute ahead of schedule. We have covered 2,440 kilometers in 10 hours and 58 minutes. The trip is not over quite yet, though. Under the One Country, Two Systems arrangement, travel between mainland China and Hong Kong is subject to border control, and high-speed trains are no exception. To facilitate high-speed rail operations, both mainland China and Hong Kong CIQ functions are co-located at West Kowloon Station. Southbound passengers face no border formalities prior to boarding the train. Instead, they would clear both sets of border procedures after disembarking. On B2 level arrivals, you will first come up to mainland China immigration. There are separate queues for foreigners and Chinese nationals. You then proceed through the mainland customs area. Afterwards, there is a yellow line on the floor that demarcates mainland and Hong Kong port areas. Go forward through the corridor, and a Hong Kong SAR emblem greets arriving passengers. There is a large bank of e-channels for Hong Kong residents and other eligible persons to the left. There are also manual counters to the right. After getting through the Hong Kong immigration and customs area, take out the ID or passport linked to your train ticket, then scan it at the exit. Upon leaving the paid area, you may turn left for Austin Station on the Tuen Ma line, or go up to the GFM level and follow signs for Kowloon Station on the Tung Chung line and Airport Express. Buses and taxis are of course available as well. If you made it this far, thanks for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed this detailed review. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more transit and border crossing content. Have a good day and see you in the next one.